that has to be survived for the longer duration, then they have to invent or innovate something which is new to attract the customers, or the other way. But once the products are designed, I cannot make it to public. Someone will claim that I have done. As we recently heard, some no, Western countries claim that the paper plates from the leaves which are prepared, we have done something new. But it actually, we are in India, it is being used from long 100 to 200 years ago. So that claiming of the things which they have done, which is they feel that is new, but which are already existing, to make that identity available or known to the people, known to the public, we need to preserve our ideas, whatever we invented, or come up with the new ideas. Everywhere, every business needs a new idea, because they need to compete with one or the other organizations. If they want to withstand themselves as a very renowned specific individuals, then they have to make sure that something new is being introduced in their product, something new is being modified in the existing product, come up with the new ideas. We have seen that a car manufacturing company initially with the normal scenario like a manual, it was not automated, steering was very difficult to screw. From the previous product till now, the changes in the technology made the things to evolve, made the things to upgrade themselves, and it modifies some shape, design, color, and they try to attract the customers by introducing one or other features. Richard Branson, who was born in 1950s, who was a co-founder of Virgin Company, these researchers have introduced and come up with the ideas of what innovation can be done. So you can see that Cobbler has invented the products which is a sportswear in the German company, currently Adidas. So these products are already there. If we can consider the example of shoes, it's not today's or yesterday's. It is from long, long back. But till now, the things are getting modified as per the needs. We'll come to the idea where why innovation is important for our country. Everywhere, without innovation, no organization can survive and get into the market for the longer duration. We have seen many organizations or many companies which will be high, low, which will come to the high peak and get down to the basement, or sometimes vanish off. But maintaining the consistency requires the strong R&D team, which will make that particular business as a successful model. You can see the table statistics of 2018 spent top 25 R&D investments. The first it is standing with Amazon. We can identify that how much they invest, that is how they are expecting the outcome. That is what, that is a total amount, multiples of that will be generated as the revenue, which will be the major growth for the industries. Innovation, is it same as the technology? Can anybody answer? Is it only the technology is a innovation? It is not just the technology. There are there is something else which we find as a unique, something which is very specific to the uh, element which makes it profitable as well as the successful. So here, one of the scenario success story of inventing the things, Team John, he designed, he said about the project, Champions project in his interview, where he identifies how to establish a link between an organization that invests consistently in innovation and their subsequent performance. He identifies, he makes a study on that, so that whatever the way they invest, how much they invest consistently for the innovation, the same way they are getting the expectation in the increase in the performance. There are some examples I have listed. The German firm has the largest maker of screws. We see the nuts and bolts, which are which is having a world's biggest revenue in the scenario in the industry, manufacturing industry. Despite the competition only is from China, there are a lot of companies who are trying to compete and build design the manufacture or design or manufacture the nuts, bolts. Similarly, UK Dairy, where they are building, and one more German firm, Willow, was also founded to find make the pumps for the wider reason in domestic and industrial applications. So the changes or the innovation, the new thing which is being integrated as a part of your product, which makes you as an innovative or makes you as a successful organization with a higher performance. The very simple example, as I was saying about the shoes manufacturing, are the shoes are not available in the previous days? Are they invented recently? No, they have been invented, they found 40,000 years ago, where even sports shoes are not that new, because the designs which have been designed based on the performance, how comfortable we feel. Before getting to that, we have different ways of representing them, where we'll see some examples how the footways have been designed for and patented also. Here it is developed initially by Adolf in 1920s. Every shoes which have some uniqueness, some design, and how better it is efficient, how comfortable it fit to the foots. Those all the scenarios will help you to understand and make sure that the innovation or the invention, what you are inventing, what you are investing the time to make the changes for the new scenario or new way of presenting, that will be helpful for getting your organization as a successful. Here are the major scenarios where we need to think of. Innovation is about identifying or creating the opportunities. It is a new way of serving the existing market or making the things to grow better, rethinking the existing or meeting the social needs. So what happens with the technology is a part of innovation, where it will help you or it will create a aid, like it's like a tool or apparatus which will help you to complete the things in a better way. Recently, the scenarios are making like you all have come across with the chat GPT. So why chat GPTs are very much familiar? ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, or Grok. There are lot many LLMs which are available, and they are very famous currently. Without that, nobody can even write a single letter or the line statement to submit or somewhere. The reason it has become very popular, because it reduces the time of the human being. It reduces the efforts of the putting for identifying or listing out the data. So whenever we are considering something is new, which helps one or the other way to one person or one community, then it will be definitely a new thing which will be growing enormously, which will satisfy the needs of the human being. So you can see that Tata Nano car has been designed with a very low cost. Nobody rejected it, even though the engine is not so much strong, but it has been sold out very in a huge number at the time of when they came into the market. Their main intention was to provide the features of the car at the price of the bike or the two wheelers. So they were trying to get into the scenarios like they want, they basically need to attract the customers. They want the customers to be sold out with their products whenever, however feasible. They want to invite, they were to make something new in the existing products. And most of them say and rethink the different scenarios. Whatever the services we used recently with the banking sector or other applications, earlier a ledger will be recorded every time you need to go to the same bank. You need to make an entry of your records, everything to be manually specified. There will be a lot of queue for going to a bank applications or something. If you want to withdraw, you need to go spend some time or put a leave of that particular day and get withdrawal or deposit the money. But the scenarios is something like a new innovations have been introduced, that how, why not we invent, why not we consider these things to be online. So slowly, gradually, the contents, whatever the banking applications are converted into digital form. These digital data is moved into the availability for anywhere, any resources, which is a part of the cloud computing. This is how the scenarios, the services to be provided in a similar way. Those service sectors are rethinking to deliver their products or provide the service to the customers in a better and efficient way. So these all innovations are the basic fundamentals required for any new startups or the entrepreneurs. So without identifying the something new, without identifying something specific, unique ideas, they can't survive and sustain in the market for the longer duration. If they have only a minute similar functionality, then it may long last for only a few days, not for the longer duration. We need to consider the different scenarios. We need to consider the social aspects. Nowadays, the payment system is very, very flexible in India. The other countries, they are trying to inculcate our UPI model in their country. They are asking to sell the product. They want their product to be integrated, their banking system to be integrated with UPI. Just a simple QR scanner will make you a payment wherever you want. Means you can imagine how best the technology has been grown up, how the social needs have been addressed. We believe or not, currently a doctor can operate any operation by sitting somewhere in the globe and instruct the doctors available here by live cameras, or even the robots can be assisting them to operate the operations. So this is how the challenges are overcome by the development in the technology with the inclusion of new innovations. These scenarios will help to innovate or to betterment of the every sector of the service or the opportunities in the market, the products, how best you increase. Whenever we design some products, we need to test it, we need to train it, we need to find out how best it will be in future. Whenever we go and purchase a vehicle, any kind of vehicle, the manufacturer says that this product, this vehicle gives 18 kilometer per liter or 30 kilometers per liter. How do you think that they are evaluating that exactly 30 kilometers or the value? Because they have a mechanism to identify, to set up an environment that will help you to train. For example, I say some products, some vehicles are designed for the like forest based areas, some are designed for like dry areas. How they set up the environment in the particular laboratories, and they test for the scenarios n number of times. That scenario data will be trained using your AI or machine learning techniques, so that that improves the performance of an engine by evaluating it the lab itself before making it into the existence of the actual product. So this is how the innovation will help you out to grow in all the sectors or all the organizations in one or the different way. That is very, very, very important for any organization or any startup to identify with the a new thing which is required basically to satisfy the needs of a human being. The important aspect, whenever someone says that I want to start a company or I want to be an entrepreneur, for these scenarios, we need to say that someone's problem is an opportunity. That itself is a fundamental to be identified for starting up your enterprises. Whenever we say some new organization, recently we are seeing like Uber, Ola, Rapido have been coming into the market to, without having a single vehicle as a own vehicle, they are having the products for selling with a means the customer service, the transportation using registering by the customer, whatever the drivers they'll register, they have a provide the service where they interface with the application. Whenever the customer request, the driver will arrive to the location and pick and drop the person or the customers. So the problem with the person is we need to identify this scenario. The problem with the person or the customer is he don't have any source of transport, because our public vehicles are not available in time. They may be not reaching in particular time, or we need to wait for the longer duration, or the seats may be not available even though if they get into the public transports. What will happen? They try to find an alternative. If they go by walk, it is not feasible because the distance may be long, but they try to book a vehicle, which previously before Ola, Uber also we had taxis, autos, but these made the things like more easier. Just click, select, book the auto, book the vehicle, book the car, whatever the product. So if someone is having some scenario, some kind of issues, those issues to be converted, reiterated and researched to come up with a new ideas, so that that will be a game changer in the market. These skill sets has to be identified, which is a very specific, minute heart of the innovation process, where every enterprises need to think of this. Any startup they are building, they need to find out what problems the other companies or other surroundings are facing. The societal based or different kinds of the problems need to be identified, so that these problems are converted as the solutions, so that that will be existing in the market as for the longer duration. Whenever we say that a simple scenario, as we all are teachers, we know during the invention or the manufacturing of the calculators coming to the market and allowing the students to work the calculator for their exams, permit for them, many of the mathematicians started to protest against the rule or the law or the constraints what is being defined. The only reason the mathematicians have the concern, like if calculator is being introduced and permitted by the students directly use in the exam, they lose their skill sets, they lose their logical thinking ability, their mathematical calculation power. All those things have been fed up into the mind of the mathematicians and saying that we cannot allow, we please don't allow. Against the government, they started protesting, writing a request, don't permit the students. Then what is the scenario now? Is there any change, any problem in the scenarios? Whether the student is killing with the logical thinking or mathematical power? No. It is in addition to that, the calculator is getting as a aid or an instrument for the student to complete the task in a quicker manner. So the importance is not only the logic, it is also a time efficiency. When the problems can be solved or calculated, if 9 by 9 matrix to be calculated, if it is done in a calculator, it will be done in 1 minute. If you do manually, at least 5-6 minutes are required. So these ideas have been incorporated by the developers or the manufacturers, so that by taking the risk, building up the ideas, investing more time on it, investing financial aspects, employing the employees, making it the things are different, setting up the manufacturing units to come up with the product. So whenever we say innovation, enterprises play a very important role. So currently, most of the countries, most of the organizations are leading with these enterprise innovations. So it is not just a product. Innovation, if I say someone has invented something or innovated, it is not just only the product, the logic, the uniqueness which supports to exhibit is a very important aspect in the part of it. There are a lot of examples in most of the slides. I'm not going to go through every slide. I'll share the presentation so that you can refer, where many of the examples are there which will highlight the importance for or highlight the scenarios for your all the applications that will be helping you making the products betterment in the market, getting into the good range, good kind of customers, so that it can expand the business. So we all come to know about what innovation, why it is important, where it is required, how does it help. All these scenarios are the basic fundamentals. Whereas apart from this, there are some other scenarios which we call as a hidden innovation. Basically, some of the sectors are trying to focus specifically on these hidden innovations which are not reflected for the customers or the public or someone else, but it will be rewarded indirectly. It will be benefiting, which will be supporting you to see or find the products are best or better. So these innovation activities are not just specifically saying that, oh, I have designed this model, this is the innovation. These kind of scenarios are not visible with the scenario, these kind of inventions or the innovations where these six specific widely used sectors are oil industry, production, retail banking, construction, legal aid, service, education. All these are very specifically making the scenario changes or the enhancement in the scenario, the things where they are growing in banking, oil productions, construction, or providing your legal services, basically with education and rehabilitation of the offenders or the persons who have been involved in the crime. To they are all these kinds. There are four different kinds of the innovations which comes into the a major role. The type 1 deals with identical or similar kind of activities. For example, the development of new technologies in oil exploration. So earlier, from years together, we know how oil is being extracted from the industries, how the process involved. We need to find what different methods can be incorporated and which can be excluded for the measuring. We cannot say that every innovative method will give the same efficiency. I cannot measure that. For example, two students are given with the exam, same number of time, same marks, everything same question paper. Some bright student may finish in half an hour, or some weaker student may take more time in writing. Because he is weak in writing, he takes some more time for 2 hours and complete the exam. Both may get the same marks, or the marks may differ. But the scenario is they have been assigned or evaluated in our traditional process or the method. How can we differentiate? How can we identify that what kind of activities can be innovated in this particular scenario? The second type of hidden innovation is without major changes in the technology, how the business models can be deployed. How, for example, the new contractual relationship between the suppliers and the clients on major products, construction projects. So here, the scenario will not change. The suppliers will supply the same kind of cement, same kind of concrete, same kind of iron, all the products. But what is the deployment method? How differently you are innovating or inventing these scenarios into your business model? So what used to happen for this example, we know traditionally, if you are building your house, we may just hire some people to make all the supply. They will come, dump here, and the contractors or the people who are involved in it, they'll build your house. When it comes to the complex building or the big building or the vast area, then we try to integrate with the new technology, like machines will be there to mix the mixture, then to pour the water. These kind of new mechanisms are integrating without making the changes in the traditional process, which makes your process very faster. And the type 3 of hidden innovation is created with a combination of existing technology and the new idea. The ideas are already existing, applying with a new way. For example, how banks are integrating the support to deliver the customers with a process of delivering different kinds of services through our internet banking. Earlier also it was there. The banking system was there. You will go withdraw the money. You will be paying the depositing. You will be making the purchase of check or taking the check drafts. All the scenarios are there. You are transferring the account transfer from one person to the other person. What changes is been integrated with the new method is they provided these feature as the internet banking with mobile or a system application, which reduces your time. The system is same, the process is same. We are not making any changes. In place of money, I cannot withdraw the gold. The system is same, but the things are the process which they have innovated or made with the new combination of the technology is different. And the last part of hidden innovation, last type is it is deployed locally, whereas it will be taken under the consideration. For example, everyday innovation that occurs in the classroom and multidisciplinary construction teams. So what happens as a teachers, we all know some 2, 3, 5% of students are very crooked or some mischievous in the class, but they have very, very different innovative idea to present their ideas. So we need to encourage our students. We cannot directly say after the graduation, students, you have completed your engineering, you completed your degree, you completed your course, you go and innovate and get the new products. It is not this way of making the students to learn. Every day we need to inculcate in our class. Every day we need to assign some responsibilities to making with the case studies, make some kind of activities, say them, you are assigned with this problem, try to come up with an idea. Make a group of 4 or 5 students of multiple groups and make them to present in the next or 2 3 days, so that you can feel the same idea with very different and unique innovations or the differences presented by every team. So this is how the hidden innovation come into the existence, but it is not physically presentable everywhere. Only very rare case of these kind of small scale innovations can be taken into consideration and recorded as one of the outcome, either in the form of publication or in the form of patents or in the form of copyrights. So these innovations are considered to be defined, which will inculcate to get something out as an outcome of that particular product or the invention. So this is the way where we need to make the students to identify. We need to mold their minds. It's like making them convincible what your idea is, what is your main aim. Make them to make a fine tune of their ideas so that they come up with the idea, make some changes, you apply some scenario based comparison of whether this kind of idea is feasible for this scenario. For example, we all see that everywhere in every city, the major concern is either a traffic or a garbage. So how best the students can provide an innovative idea to provide the challenges facing with the traffic as well as the garbage. If these two things are being cleared and provided with full clear picture, then every city will be feeling like a very, very different. It's not the same way what we are existing in. Some cities are clean, even though in some corner of the places they play the dump the things. Similarly, over number of vehicles which are being used. Every home has minimum 2 3 vehicles. Whether they use or not, they are purchasing, they are utilizing as per their needs. The increase in the number of vehicles are creating a problem in the traffic, where the public transports are also available, even the private transports are also available, and other taxis and all are available. How can we best provide the ideas so that we reduce the time in the journey or in the transport? How can we reduce the energy for the next generation by using or employing some other kind of mechanisms where it will be helping, it will be making the person or the company with a better idea and the revenue generation as well. The major thing, as we said, we call Joseph Sculptor as a father of innovation studies, as well as the Peter says that innovation is a specific tool for the entrepreneurs by which they can exploit the changes as an opportunity for the various kind of the businesses or the services across any discipline, across any curriculum, across any scenarios. We come across with something new, which is a mixture of a different kind of the scenarios, different kind of the features, different kind of the applications, which are benefiting the organization by improvising their ideas, coming as a product or some other way, which will be exhibiting, serving the purpose of the public. As it is specified, someone's problem is an opportunity. It's 100% sure, friends. Whenever we see some problem someone is facing, it is definitely need to be addressed, and that problem will be will be the major input for your problem statement, where you provide effective, innovative, novel solution, which may be provided with a huge requirement in the market. Whatever the basic things, the nature scenarios, natural scenarios, the mixture of different combinations of different opportunities to be encatched by the new entrepreneurs, that will make them to get into the market in a better way. As Joseph Skulpmer has specified, he also served as a Ministry of Finance in Austrian government. He has a simple argument for the entrepreneurs. Why he is called as a godfather is, he specifies his study is totally different from the normal scenarios of the normal researchers. He says that entrepreneurs will seek the use of technological innovation for making it as a new, making it as advantageous. These new looks are defined as an innovation. New changes in the rules, regulations are made as a new identities of their products of the organization, which will be a major source of the profit for the every organization. The constructive process, which are very much creative in the designing of the applications, by erasing the previous defined rules, will be your new source, where you are driving to the a new way, new world of innovation as a new product or new element which is beneficial. There are some simple scenarios where a startup, growth, sustainability, renew. These are the phases which are required for every enterprises, whether you create a commercial value or a social value. These phases to be survived and sustained. Basically, when we say startup, we call as the entrepreneurs are starting with a new startup, new company, new organization, where they are individually responsible for growth opportunities, creating a market value, whereas the similar product as also creating your a social value for the product. At the stage of startup, it is just an opportunity, whereas the societal value, it is a major concern, a scenario which makes you changes in the scenarios of your application, whatever the product. The next phase, once the startup is established, you are moving on with the new products, getting with the new ideas, making into the market, establishing, expanding your products, range from city to district, district to state, state to country, country to multiple worldwide. The growth has to be monitored so that your new market values are increasing, it's not decreasing always. So these way it will help you. At the same time, the growth what you have acquired across the globe is providing or engaging the people all over the regions as a key parameter, which will also create a value, the societal value we specify. Once the products or the growth of the organization has been built, our main motto of being an enterprises or the entrepreneurs is make it survivable, sustainable for the longer duration. Why sustainability is important? Because they need to long last. If they want to long last, their innovation should not end at the startup phase. It should continue, prolong till The day the company works, that the way they will get the revenue, new market, new way, ideas, everything will be elaborative, expandable till the day. The similar way, these sustainable phases also provide some values which benefit for the some set of communities, some set of enterprises, or some public sectors. And this is not the end. Sustaining is not the end. It is a forever process. That phase we call as a renew. Why renew is required in creating or making or establishing the application is whenever we get into the new product, it there are competitors. Definitely, when I say some company XYZ is manufacturing a mobile with some XYZ features, the other company comes with a better features with compared to your product. It's not enough that you stop your innovation. You need to move forward. You need to establish. You need to come up with the ideas so that how can you enhance your products comparing to your own product. So that is how the innovation renews the enterprises establish or move forward for making their business in the long lasting way. So this also make the changes in the system. I've seen many scenarios, many examples where even though the products may be different, we call it by the original name which we got to know. For example, Bisleri. How many of you heard Bisleri water? It is just a distilled water or the purified water which will be served. The idea of starting with the water, packaged water, we can say in a simple way, packaged water, when the founder of a distillery, when they are making the packaged water sold out for the transportation or in the journey scenarios, basically they started for the military based users, where in the war time or some other travel distances they could not able to get the water, so they made a packages similar to your food packages also, what MTR is also doing, a small products for the soldiers where they can just reuse it instantly, we call as a instant food. That way they started with the water, packaged water. They come up with the new scenarios, new ways of changing the structure, changing the ideas, the name nomenclatures, everything has been innovated. It's a regular process till now. You believe or not, whenever you go to a shop, if you want to get a water bottle, you will say give Bisleri. Most the common man, only some genuine or known people who will say give a distilled water or purified packaged water. But most of them still believe distillery is the name of the water which is purified. It is actually the name of the company, the organizational name, the product name where they started with the distillery. So this is how your brand value has to be set. You cannot say satisfy with the revenues which you are coming across. We need to enhance it for the longer lasting. Is innovation successful exploitation of that? Is it enough? No. Everywhere in every organization, the innovation is the most and very specific requirement. Different researchers have provided different ways of definitions. Gardner says some definition, or Freeman says something. These their experience, their thinking ability made something like that will long last. Some small changes will also be an innovative idea. So getting to know why it is required, we'll also need to know how the process of innovation carries out. There are four basic phases. The first phase is the search. So whenever you are starting, we say that I want to, nobody starts that I want to invent something. They are in search of something. They want to find out something which is helping for us. When they start exploring the scenarios, when our students, when they start with a new scenarios like finding what product will be best suited in the industry, what product has a good market value, how can we compare our product idea with the existing products, how it is better with the things. So they need to conduct a very exhaustive, clear, specific search where it will not be ending. It should be the first phase and the continuous process, searching how and what all opportunities we have in the market. Do we have a clear strategy for implementing that? If yes, if we have the new clear infrastructure or the idea or the innovation, then select it and define and decide what we are going to do with that, and what is the importance, why it is required. We need to brainstorm. Our team of young minds should make the idea, like how do you select what we are going to do with all these, should be integrated, and they should be revising the scenarios, finding out research how and why it is required. Once the selection of the product is done, assume I want to start with the pencil manufacturing industry. I want to start with a new innovative way of designing a pencil. How can I implement that? I come to the conclusion that pencils are most needed in the market. In every educational institute, a pencil with different size, different designs are required. How we are going to make it ready? So that is a major important phase, and the turning point of your innovation process is implementing, designing, manufacturing, coming up with the ideas, and finally, what benefits we are getting out of these. You need to capture the reviews, comment for everyone. When you sell a new product, we need to acquire the feedback. Feedback is a very specific and required mechanism. This feedback need to be reiterated again. Whenever we get something, whenever we present something, don't forget to get the reviews, feedbacks, comments from the persons who are using or the organizations who are using it. Without feedback, no company will be successful in the innovation or existing the long-term scenarios in the industry. So these four phases make your idea very clear, strategies implying very clear, so that your product, your idea is very specific, novel, innovative, unique, and that can be incorporated in different products or different mechanism, different way to come into the market. These four spaces of innovation are very specific: process, paradigm, product, and position. All these are bidirectional products, all are incremental, all are radical, which plays a very important space for exhibiting or making your innovation as a better product or better idea, better model in the industry. Process, what kind of mechanism you are employing, what is the status of your product, what is your services you are providing, and what paradigms you are incorporating in the a new idea, plays important role to specify how best is your innovation, how best is your idea, how best we can invent that or make into the market. The very key aspects we need to consider is whether the novelty is incremental or radical. We need to specifically consider the things like whether the new idea or the novelty or the new uniqueness in my product, is it long lasting or only for serving for the particular duration. For example, the COVID phase was a very critical throughout the globe. The researchers, scientists have invented or defined a new medicines to cure the disease at a particular time, but it is only restricted for shorter duration. It is not incremental product. It is a radical product which is required for specific duration, which we need to come out of that phase. So that is the degree of novelty where we need to evaluate, we need to consider. The second aspect is the level of innovation. Whether my new model, new innovative idea, is it for a specific component or the whole system? Is it specifying the new changes in the components, or the complete architecture of the design has to be modified? What kind of platforms we are using? What is the life cycle of that particular process or the idea? we need to consider all these basic key aspects which will basically help us to identify, make our innovation as outstanding best out of the others. So coming up with a new parameter. So throughout the globe, we cannot say only India is working or US is working for the innovation. Every country has their own scenarios, own capabilities for developing their products, developing their ideas, presenting their new innovations to the market, and increase the market value. Similarly, every year, a global innovation index ranking will be specified based on the capability of success in the innovation world from WIPO. WIPO is a world common platform which will be setting up standards, protocols for the across the globe. So based on the developments, based on the technology enhancements, based on the innovative ideas, the number of patents filed, copyright filed, trademarks filed, based on all these parameters, Global Innovation Index of India is coming to 39 in the current year for till 2024. The values which are defined or presented, released in 2025, says that India is at the position of 39. We need to think who are the first rollers who are making uh, first rank in the innovation. So it is Switzerland, Sweden, and America, United States. So this is how the incremental way of process we can observe from the last 5 years in the development of incremental way of process in the innovations. In 2020, it was 48th rank, and currently India moved to 39th rank across the globe. It's not just innovation factor, it also comes with a global economies where the number of innovations clusters are defined. India has 4 clusters in the top 100 clusters innovation centers across the globe. Bangalore stays at 21st place, Delhi stays at 26th place, Mumbai stays at 46th, and Chennai stays at 84th place. It is the list of innovation clusters where they recognize the number of clusters country wise. In China, we have 64 innovation clusters which are producing a global economy the higher level. The second place with the America, third with the Germany, and fourth is shared by India as well as England. Out of these four, we have top four the places, top four clusters that are highlighted in the top 100. The list of 100, it is the top four listed. And where we stand at the global level in terms of startups, we can see the globe across in America has 84,700 plus startups, whereas India has 17,700 plus. It's not just the number, it is a gradual growth which have been enhanced in the last few years. As per the statistics by Outlook, by the number of global starts with a startup, it is considering with the statistics of a recent, India is almost in the top four, top 10 listed in all, where we compare with all other countries. India is at the second place behind USA. We can see that how many companies are getting, how many products are coming into the market which are innovative, long lasting for the public, long lasting for the society. This is how the changes is happening, and the economy of the country will also grow accordingly with respect to these scenarios. Before moving to the next topic, intellectual property rights. So we'll pause for a 5 minutes of break. Is that fine? The coordinators?
Yes, sir.
We'll pause for 5 minutes. Now the time is 7 o'clock. We'll come by. We'll all will join back at. We'll not leave the session. We'll start the session at 7:05 to 6.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam, shall we begin?
You can start, sir.
Yes, madam. Yes, thank you. So, welcome back to the next session. Continued with the connection with the previous content, where how innovation plays a very important role in the development of startup or any new products. Whatever the ideas we are getting, whatever the way we need to, the process we are inculcating to define it, there is some scenario like it is my idea, my property, my product, my innovation, my things, my designs, my defined scenarios. So all these scenarios or minus or awareness or the ownership of these particular new innovations are to be preserved. The reason, the main purpose of preserving the scenarios is like whenever we consider, whenever we define, it should not be misused by someone else, which is being designed or innovated by someone else. For monitoring all these process of new innovations or the new ideas, new literacy, or the new arts, new designs, whatever the new features which are defined, designed, all these are the part of the ownership which are to be integrated and preserved for that particular person or the organization who defined it. To monitor all these processes, to consider the preservation, or it's more than all respecting that person who invented something which is his intellectual property. By his intelligence he designed or defined with a new uniqueness in the product. That idea has to be preserved or defined under his ownership, under these rights. So altogether, we define them as a IPR, that's a intellectual property rights, which makes the ownership, which defines the ownership of the new innovation, new ideas, new designs, new images, or the artistic work which is being designed for the particular person. So the main purpose of IPR, the rights which are to be provided as a privilege for a inventor, we call as an inventor who innovate, the owner of the designs, the designer who invented that particular design, designed the symbols, who defined or created something, to encourage them, to encourage the person's creativity, to give respect, to give some value, or to prioritize that particular person. We consider the intellectual property rights to be defined or filed on his name. To balance the scenarios of inventors and the public interest, we need to privilege the inventor by specifying or filing a property right on his or her name. This particular property, according to WIPO convention, it's an organization which defines that what all things can be filed as a right. I can file literacy, literary, whatever the new things can be defined. Artistics, scientific words can be defined under his or her name, what we call as a patent, copyrights. The performances of the performing artists, that performance can be also filed as an intellectual property. Phonogram, broadcast, and as well as in all the fields of the inventions where human interfere, all the interventions, scientific discoveries, industrial designs, the trademarks, service marks, commercial names, designations, as well as all the other scientific, industrial, whatever the kind of the scenarios which are making or identified as someone's property, someone's intellectual property, that can be filed under the IPR category. Whereas something which is created to be protected by someone else for the unfairness or unfair usage of that particular item, we define it with the IPR. So we come across with the global statistics where a global innovation index specifies the previously we have seen the clusters. These clusters are listed globally across. So whereas Bangalore is also one of the top 100, the cluster which is being defined here. And apart from these lot many scenarios, the data which is being directly taken from WIPO, a database which specifies the global index of all the countries who are involved in the innovations. So according to Indian government, so leaving apart from all the global data, every country has a specific set of organization who keep track of all these different categories of the IPR rights which are to be privileged or protected from the unfairness usage. Similar to all other countries, India, government of India also have a IP cell where we call that particular office of as Office of Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademark, which will be defined as CGPT-DDM. So this office is structured in this way. We'll get to know where all offices are there with respect to these particular IP rights. Basically, for managerial intellectual property, we have a management organization which is called as Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property and Management, and PIS. It is located in Nagpur. Patent offices are located in Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, and Mumbai, where Kolkata serves as a head office. Similarly, we have a design patents. It is located in Kolkata itself. Apart from that, we have a trademarks which are to be registered before they use or before they make it to the public. These trademark offices are located in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Ahmedabad, where Mumbai is a commercial high commercial products where the most of the manufacturing industries are exhibited from longer days. Because of that, it is where all these offices are treated with the Mumbai as a head office. Geographical Indication Registry GIR, which is a very specific to the specific geographical reasons. For that, Chennai is having an office. Similarly, the other kind of semiconductor designs or other scenarios been defined or office at Delhi, and copyright related things are to be designed and defined at Delhi. So these offices in the different locality of India serves as the main control over the IPR acts or the rights which you are filing. Whatever the process we file, these to be verified by one of these organizations based on the type of IPR which we are filing. So whenever we consider IPR, it's not today's or yesterday's new invention. These IPR was been first initially recognized or introduced in 1883 at Paris Convention to protect the rights of the industrial properties. Whatever the industrial manufacturing processes or all during the Paris Convention, this first idea has been introduced. Similarly, the protection of literacy as well as artistic works are being introduced in 1886 in the Berne Convention. What these are? These are the initial conventions or the conferences which were held to understand what industries are doing, what systems are going on, how to make it modernized, how to enhance the organizations for the betterment. All these are falling under the consideration or control of the governing office, which we call as the IPR office, which is being all the laws and the protocols, the regulations, the consideration of the protocol, set of defined parameters. All these parameters or other constraints are defined generally by an organization called as WIPO. It is World Intellectual Property Organization, where every country sign an agreement with that to abide by the policies defined by the WIPO. These IPRs are defined with the 27 articles of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. These things are abided or following through the World Trade Organization, governed through the TRIPS. TRIPS is nothing but a trade reflected aspects of intellectual property rights. Initial, the basic fundamental or the idea is to preserve the industrial rights, the property rights for connected to the industry. After that consideration, what kind of organizations or the acts are introduced in India? What type of acts have been presented or exhibiting in India, and the respective ministry or defense department which is handling that particular aspect of the IPR Act. The Copyright Act is presented in 1995. which is currently handled by Ministry of Higher Education. The Government of India's HOI is handling these scenarios, the process of all these copyright acts. Similarly, Patent Act, Design Act, Trademark Act, and Geographical Indication Act, all these four kind of IPRs are preserved. Policies are defined by Industrial Policy and Promotion Consortium. So they design what kind of parameters are required to evaluate and approve your patents, designs, trademarks, or geographical indications of your goods. Currently and recently in 2000, a new trend with the design for semiconductor circuits have been come into existence, which is being monitored by Information Technology Department or a Ministry of IT, where they define how the layout of the semiconductor chip or the design is to be, what parameters, what components to be considered, what kind of parameters are considered in the design, which has been monitored by them. And apart from all these technological aspects, we also have the rights for the farmers to preserve, protect their plant varieties, which is being taken care by Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperation. For that, we have a specific organization. That act has been come into the enforcement in 2001. We have come across all different kinds of IPR, that's intellectual properties, which will serve the purposes. Out of all these IPR rights, these four may plays a very important role in establishing the products, value for their designs, and the applications which they are exhibiting in the market. All these parameters, as most of the scenarios are very specific, very common for all of us, we know what all things are there. WIPO, about WIPO, I have added a slide to understand. It is started with its operations in 1970, where it consistently have 193 as a country members as a part of WIPO. It hosts all your IPR rules, policies, and all. Similar to IPR, we also have a TRIPS, similar to WIPO, which will handle your intellectual properties, the agreements which is being exhibiting with the different countries. It came into enforcement during 1995, and all the members of WTO are binded or abiding these TRIPS, so that everyone follow these scenarios. It may be patent, it may be copyright, trademark, geographical, industrial design, trade secret, or any other new innovation to preserve the plant varieties. Everywhere, every kind of new innovation are filed under either of these category. Let us see one by one what each of them and some examples. There are some policies defined by Government of India. According to them, if you go to this link, we'll get to know the detailed manual of Patent Office, what common practices are being considered. Considering all these patents, trademarks are considered as registered IPs, whereas other remaining are unregistered, which changes as per the specific locality, specific content, domains, or the varieties. We all know patents are very well known in every domain. Whatever the new thing you define, we will file the patent. So these patents are evaluated based on its novelty, innovative steps, and the industrial applicability. Basically, the current trend, what we are following in educational institute is not actually the aim in the defining or considering of patent acts. It was basically defined to preserve the industrial properties or the rights of the processes, what industries are innovating, making into the market. So all the processes are gradually coming up to every person as an individual to preserve his or her rights, whatever they invent. Under this category, the patents we can define n number of activities which we can invent. The duration of the patent for the availability is 20 years from the date of filing. It's not from the date of grant. Make a note. It is not, for example, if the patent filed process takes 2 3 years or 10 years in the process of approving your patent, the date of filing is considered from the date of filing till 20 years. It is considered as a patent on your name or whatever, or the organization name. Once 20 years duration tenure ends, that patent will be publicly available. The designed ideas or the products are publicly made. For that, new different innovations, new methods are integrated, where the Indian government are specifically concentrating on these areas for the patents like paramedical, biotechnology, IT, mechanical, and agriculture innovations for the development of industrial organizations as well as the Indian economy growth. Whereas under this patent category, we cannot consider some of the parameters like frivolous invention, which are harmful for the public or the animals or the plants or the human beings. We cannot say that it is we cannot approve that as a or file as a patent. The method of agriculture cannot considered or cannot be filed as a patent. The traditional knowledge, we say we have a Vedas, Puranas, and all those cannot be said and filed as the patents. Computer programs are only the source of design. They all not coming under the category of filing the patent. And very important part is the atomic energy. Whatever the innovations or the inventions defined or designed, invented in respect of this atomic energy, they are never permitted, never allowed to file a patent, because it is asset for the country, not asset of a person or the human being. Similarly, plant varieties and the animal breeds cannot be filed as a patent. And more across all these specific things, we have some more examples to go through the thing. The common procedure, I have listed it out. I have a diagram, critical representation. How do you file the IPR, which specifically patent? First, initially we define, once we apply, that applied patent idea is assigned with the case number that will be submitted to your IPA cell, which will evaluate and then pass on for the next phase of reviewers to identify your innovation for the assessment. Once this is accepted, once it is been assigned and accepted by the internal review committee, it will be assigned to the next set of comments and it will be available for the inventors. Give the time for them to make a comments, and the next 7 days is very important aspect to give a response back to the inventors. What reviewers are specifying with respect to the idea you have filed, that will be coming to you in the 5th or 6th week of the application as a reviewer comments. If they satisfy with your ideas, innovative, they verify with all the existing products or the existing ideas. They say if nothing is replicable directly, then they will say they will make you to share your approval note. That means the application is registered. Once it is registered, it will be published to the public, so that that idea is defined or specified to that particular person. Based on this, we can request for the exam in future, so that that exam will be processed to carry out to grant process. It is between the inventor and the attorney, where they make sure that if it is specifically you are clearing all the clarifications with respect to the committee, then that will be provided with the grant process. So this is the detailed flow chart where the process of filing requires all these forms. The first one, application of grant of patent, provisional specifications, the statements of undertaking under section 8, which says that what products you are using, what kind of elements you are using, what kind of methods you are using are abided with the laws of section, which are fulfilling with the section 8, which are not harmful, which is not impacting to others. Then form 5 specifies the declaration of inventorship, and form 9 is specified that you request your idea or the 8 patent for publication. Once it is approved through the process of a minimal criteria of approval, then it will be requested for the examination to grant a patent. For granting a patent, it may take up to 2 years to grant the application, patent application. Once it is granted, it is for you, you are the owner of that, you are the inventor of that. Wherever any organization making use of that kind of ideas or the design, whatever the patents you have filed, you have the liability to file a case against them. You have the privilege to file a complaint so that you get the royalty based on the idea they used. In the meanwhile, the date of registration, the application date, once it is approved, the date from that 20 years is counted for your consideration. This whole phase, the filing phase with all these process moves on to come at the final grant phase. So most of the processes are to be dealt with the agents where they are clear with the drafting, whatever the ideas we have. We need to approach the patent office or the agents so that they will help us to file our patent and get the publication of our patent and even to the grant level. Moving on, the example. So what can be patented? So everyone are aware, everyone has seen that Michael Jackson uh, has a unique step of design of dance, unique process of dance. So when you say that in 1987, the step is been patented with the process of the shoes used by the Michael Jackson. The patent is awarded in 1993, which is being filed in 1987. We have a document where the pair of shoes are designed with a new way. Even you lean almost 45 degrees to the ground surface, you are not falling. You still maintain your posture in a proper way during the step of dance or any other process. These things are very, very crucial. See, you can imagine how the inventor has designed it so that even if you lean with almost 45 degrees, we are not able to fall. That holds your grip the way it will be added into a new unique ideas. So these are the design ideas of the shoes, how it will be helping to make sure that. The second parameter, which is a copyright, whatever the data or the articulate across the literacy or artists or the musical components, cinematographers or dramatics, all these come under a copyright act where they can preserve, they can protect for almost 60 years. So the scenario, try to understand the things. Patents can be filed only for 20 years. After that, it will be public. Whereas the copyright acts, which will help you to preserve your literacy works or different kinds of the acts listed here to preserve for the 60 years as the lifetime of your author. So this extends the protection of the whatever the creativity you are inserting or introducing. For example, your Bollywood film scripts that will protect your ideas or the expressions. The software codes can be copyrighted, not patented. The codes which you are implementing, integrating a uniqueness, the design of article, the music structure, the lyrics can be also copyrighted but not be patented. The process again, it remains same for all the similar kind of, we need to prepare the application, submit to the office, wait for the 30 days of notice period for allowing any public have any kind of objection or opposition to claim whatever the claims you are framing, because we don't know the globe is the accessible. In India we have around 1.46 billion crore people, the 1.46 which will be very huge quantity of the people, where we don't know who have the similar kind or already filed a copyright on it. To find and to identify there are no disputes, the owner will be provided with the ownership as a copyright registration certificate. So this is very important aspect because the 30 days duration is very crucial. After that, even anyone comes and file, it will be negligible or ignored. And the next parameter is a trademarks, which defines, which protects your brand, your consumer trust, as well as your commercial value, where all these scenarios will help you out to safeguard your trademarks. You have seen many logos, we have examples, which will be protected for 10 more years with a trade secret. All the trade secrets are falling under a category of trademarks, where that will help you to preserve your recipes or ingredients, manufacturing cost, process, novel idea, which is kept confidential. There are different parameters to consider: limited rights, restricted rights, government purpose rights, special license rights. Either of these category we need to choose. There are examples we can observe here. The Coca-Cola company, which is well known to everyone, the name, the style they write the name, the kind of font they use, the size of the font is trademarked. Even the design, the shape of the bottles are also made as a trademark, which is very unique. No organization, no manufacturing industry can make use of these designs. If someone uses it, they'll be seized or filed with a heavy penalty. Similarly, we can see the Nike shoe or the Nike sandals or company which has a unique logo. This logo is defined. What is the kind of elevation? What is the degree of elevation they use? What is the thickness? What kind of color they are using? It's black color always. So these logo types are also defined as a patent or claimed as a trademarks. The symbol of McDonald's, the slogan "I am in love in it." The way you can see that it is registered trademark. Similarly, the color can also be designed. The Orange company defined that it is a trademark for their organization with a unique way of representing the content. Apart from these trademarks, we also have a different trademarks or the service logos which are trademarks across the globe. So these are the different examples of the trademarks. The process again almost similar process, where it is been filed. The trademark registry offices from Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai will mark your representation, application details. It also have a opposition window. 4 months of opposition period means that 4 months of duration you will be not permitted. Whatever the trademarks are defined, designed, you file. After 4 months, if no oppositions are filed, then only your registration certificates will be issued for 10 years. Renewable, yes, somehow with a new idea, with the changes in the trademark, you can renew it. It is not guaranteed that you will get the same. So that is why the companies will start trying to change their logos, designs, the names, the design parameter in one or the different way. Moving on with the design ideas, which is again a part of your intellectual property, which specifically how the visuality of that particular product is. You have seen the Tetra Packs, which is being filed and founded in 1951, which is a packaged drinking of a juice or the some products, even the different kind of the products. So these can be identified. These design patents will be provided with 10 years of validity of registration, which can be further consecutively for next second 5 years. Second period they are entertained or allowed to continue. So these ideas, you can see the bottle design of Bisleri is not same as Kinley or Aquafin. So all these companies have their own design policies, design ideas, which will be tested based on the visibility of the customers. How the customers view it, that will be taken care into consideration. These slides are taken from the author K.L. Gupta, where he has designed the constraint with respect to the designs. Apart from this, we also have a different kinds of the designs. We all have come across the different kinds of the shoes. Basically, crooks are very much trending, uh, and liberty is also one of the well-known scenarios. So these companies are also have the patents or the IPRs filed for the designs. You can see the side view, front view, back view, left view, right view. So all these, if you go and check with the IPR website of these application number, you'll get to know what kind of mechanism methodology they are defined. What is the outlayer? What kind of mechanism? What kind of design view? How the shapes are defined? Everything is to be designed with the trademarks or patent, one or the other designs, industrial designs we are considering. Then the next parameter is registered geographical indications. So we know that in every locality, there is something specific or uniquely designed and identified. I listed few of the examples like Darjeeling tea. It is the first registered GI in India in Himachal Pradesh. It's a tea powder. So that company has a unique way of things. It is located to that particular region. Similarly, Tirupati Ladu. Everyone knows that particular scenario, which is uniquely accessible or designed only for the locality of that particular region, which is a unique. Karnataka also have different ideas like Mysore silk, Mysore peda, Dharwad peda. All these are geographical based ideas which are intended. Kesar mango is also based on Kolhapur chappals, were basically defined in Kolhapur region. They are well known with the ideas. These kind of uniqueness in that particular region, we can find the GIs. These ideas are also uh, considered as the uniqueness as the intellectual properties. One of the well-known sweet, Rasgulla, it gets a GI tag for Odisha, where they have a battle that West Bengal say it is our product, Odisha says that it's their product. So now currently Odisha Small Industry Corporation have the registered holder of Rasgulla geotag. So there is a similar scenario because most of the cases they use the same kind of things. For example, in the border of Maharashtra and Karnataka, poha is a very well-known breakfast food which can be used for the longer duration, which can be preserved. So both the states, both the countries, both the localities can file it, but it is not specifically falling under that. It's a simple scenario where we can have a conflict of that cannot be considered for the further process. Apart from all these considerations, the semiconductor designs are also how much 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter chip contains the number of designs, the kind of the structure of the parameter, the layout of transistors, circuitries, the wires which are connecting from each of these elements, which consist of 1 million components, that is also can be filed as IPR, which is being implemented or enforced during 2000 under IC Layout Design Act. Apart from these, we have seen some designs. There are some specifically considered as the industrial designs, which concentrates on the shape, configuration, pattern, ornaments, where industries are designing the process to come out with the product with some kind of these consumer products which are well known, public accessible. These can be filed with IPR. They have a paramedical products, tablets, medicines, design, shape, a syringe, the liquids, hand wash. All these are specifically can be filed and they are under the product IPR Act. Even textiles and jewelries, pattern, the texture, the color combination, all these are also fileable under and preserved under IP Act. Considering a case study, different scenarios, what kind of IP they are considering with a real-time scenario where the business models have been incorporated. Tesla's organization, the Tesla, have the open patent strategy, which they filed under patent. Similarly, Basics submersible pump, which the most of the farmers are using, which can be merged in the water. That is a local innovation that is also filed under patent. Whereas Amul, which has a brand protection as well as GI protection. Their name, the design, the logo is also protected and it is locality based. Regional identity is also considered. So it is filed under GI as well as the trademark. Similarly, the paramedical constraints or the government patent, which is between Naukris as well as the government of India, which is balancing IP as well as that can be filed and made under the public as a patent category. We know that the logo of Infosys software copyrights, they are protecting their codes and the documentation process under Copyright Act. So these are the general real-time scenarios where we come across with the consideration of different scenarios where we can have a combination of IPs filed across the consideration. Coming across with all these scenario, to summarize, I have listed patent for 20 years, copyright for 60 years, trademark for 10 years, and designs for first initially 10 years and extended up to 5 years, geographical indications for 10 years, and plant variety protection is also permitted under the Agriculture Act for 15 years. You can preserve the plant varieties. And lastly, with the semiconductor, one-time registration protection is granted for 10 years. All these IP acts will have their own advantages and disadvantages of preserving the rights. It's a summary in the tabular form. And coming across knowing all these, we know why we need to protect our IP. We try to prevent unauthorized access, misuse of the application. Some companies should not take the advantage of my idea in their implementation. Building the consumer trust. The customers should assured with some quality, reliability, authenticity of their products which are genuine, unique. All these different reasons help you to build or protect your IPs in the different sectors, different domains, which will be the advantageous parameter in the consideration of your IPs. Let me go across what will happen if someone denies someone or unnoticeable in the filed ITs. I have given some example. A student of US has accused of infringing intellectual property for downloading a song from the internet and sharing with others, which made him to pay the penalty, which is very huge, dollar 675 lakh, 6,75,000 he paid as an infringement. Why it has to pay? Because that particular song is a proprietary owned by some organization. They filed a case on that, which made them to pay the penalty because of downloading 30 songs from the internet and sharing with their friends without making into the consideration of the IPR. We unknowingly download the scenarios, download, you make use of that product, reuse them, but we don't understand what is the IPR Act on it, what kind of rights are filed on it, then it is 100% provided with the hefty fine penalties. Then the second scenario where Taiwan student, a graduate student, uploaded some document on the public without authorization or consent of the organization, which made to him to pay a damage of nifty amount of their 1 lakh, 10 lakh dollars, which is a very huge penalty. It is not only the penalty, the school's reputation is also being decreased. They apologize for the publishers for regarding the student affairs, whatever the issue created. So these are the scenarios that will help you to come across. Some I already said, added a slide which cannot be registered, which cannot be considering falling under IPR acts. A list of slides, well, I'll be keep on moving just to understand how and what. The machines which gives you some scenarios are not patentable. Claiming the machines cannot be more than giving more than 100%. We cannot say more than 100% my machine does. It is not possible and it is not patentable. Similarly, gambling machines which are harming a commercial, impacting the morality or the reduction or exploiting of your judicial acts, that cannot be filed. Similarly, similar scientific principles or your discoveries with the substances, medicines, the where medical paramedical industries are, some particular substances obtained from the mixture of resulting to the other product, they cannot be patented. They cannot be filed under some category. They cannot be filed as an innovation. Agricultural process cannot be filed where equipments are patentable. The preparation of the improved soil cannot be filed as a patent. The other scenarios like plants, animals, microorganisms cannot include the seeds varieties. The clone part of that cannot be filed as a patent. Similarly, the more very trending current technological era built on the algorithms, machine learning, AI, they cannot claim the computer program itself as the patent. It cannot be processed as the patentable or copyrights. Copyright to some extent it is acceptable, but it is not considered as under a patent. Even the copyright with the scenarios of some constraints cannot be filed or falling under copyright, which are not patentable. They cannot be filed, which are falling under Copyright Act. The examples like your process, your manner, your spoken words cannot be patented. Just keep on this. And coming to the very, very important aspect, the last part of my presentation, there are a lot of scenarios, growth in the technology, developments, which we are getting. Everything currently trending with the AI. So I hope everyone are much aware with AI. Even we know, we generally specifically without AI, without the development in the technology, we are not making our task easier. Similarly, all these AI tools there are many tools which are helping us to identify, to file our patents, maybe not 100% with some of the scenarios. I listed some of the categories, patent search and analysis. There are 5 to 6 tools which will help you out to find out whether that particular patent is available, to what level, what are the different scenarios. Drafting the patent is also feasible using these tools, Patent Pal, Sol Intelligence, and Claim Master. Trademark search and monitoring are considered under using these tools. Copyright enforcement can be identified. IP portfolio management can also be handled with these uh, web applications which are designed to help you to identify, manage your IP. Legal research and analytics are also being defined with the well-known organization Thompson returns are defined with a node product case text course console, which is these are helping. These are the tools. Some of them are AI enabled, some of with a generic scenario. As the technology growth innovation is happening, all the organizations are integrating with AI. So these AI will help us to get the new scenarios where understand, identify where it is misusing, what key features are integrating with the particular application. To listing out where these 14 platforms are leading the way in 2025, which are very globally accessible in the globe. Before getting into it, I'll just have you a demo of these scenarios where to come across some applications. We all know that IPR government has the organization. It maintains its own website where we need to get all the application details, filed cases, everything are available publicly. Patents under that, all these designs, the forms required, the manuals, trademarks, GIs, registry acts, or the workshops or delivering information, copyrights, or your semiconductor kind of the scenario. All these are updates. You can see the latest updates of the examiners who are authorized as the patent agents. Their list will be called from the exams. The events conducted will be listed. If any tender for any kind of things, all these we are all aware that how these applications work. If you want to search for the publication, we need to go search with the IPR filing searching. Here I can go public search. I'll click on this. I have a different kind of the e-filing where the public search are available. To e-file, we have the process. These are the comprehensive e-filing web links, which individually we need to file. And the payments fees are also listed here. I'll just go with the search of the patents where I need to move the name, a new dates. I'll just give a date to yesterday's date to today. I'll just search with the captcha IVOV0C 6QPQVA. So using this, we will get to know any documents status of that application. If you know the number, application number, you can track and you can go through the based on either of these fields, you can file, you can check with the dates. Similarly, you can go across with your trademarks, designs, and not only this, whatever these are available, which are published, they are available under the category of publication. The journals, the IPRs which are approved, the patents, trademarks, and GIs are available as the journals. How our publication of research articles are listed, we have a journals, patents, and the design patents. Every quarter or every particular day, the dates updated the publication in the category of 4 files, part 1, 2, 3. These all 3 parts are considering with the basic filed patents in detail, which is published, and the last one consists of your design patents which are listed. To go across with a one particular journal, it's taking some time to load to demonstrate it. I'll come back to this demonstration. Yeah, it's loaded almost. Here, the Office Journal of Patent Office, they define when it is published, what is the issue number. This plays an important role whenever you say that I have published some patent, they will ask you for the issue number so that they can verify from the authentic identity. There are different issues where the page numbers are defined considering specifying the contact details of patent. Basically, the more important thing is this is available in English as well as Hindi, both languages. whatever the publications they have, this is the ID filed, this is the patent, which specifies the patent publication with the publication application number. This is the application number, ends with A, which specifies as the application, when it is published, and who are the applicants and who are the inventors. There is a difference in applicant and the inventor. Applicant is maybe an organization or an individual, where inventors are who involved in the contribution of designing this. So the title is defined, and what classification under what category of this, the priority and all details, along with the abstract, with the page number of pages, how many pages you claim, and the number of claims you have done, that will be listed. Similarly, the second patent. Here you can observe that the patent is filed on the name of university, and the faculty name are defined as the inventors. Most of the organizations currently who are running behind your NIRF ranking or other kind of the ranking parameters, they are expecting the product or the patents are filed under the category or on the name of the applicant as their organizational name. There are many patents which are filed. Nowadays, it's very common that even a first year student of degree will start filing with the patents. But we don't know that whether that come into the existence of a public grant or not. So based on that, it will be listed, where we have around 1100 pages till the date. Everything is filed under the category. Application date will be there, publication date will be there with this. Similar to this, we have a scenario of design patents, where the design ideas, whatever we have seen in the similar scenarios, that is also being considered and filed and listed for the public. Whatever the design ideas are listed, that will be available for the public for the access. I'll just try to load it. Close this patent. We'll come back to it. The other generalized organization, where WIPO is the standard body, where we have an option to search in the generalized application. Just I opened it to save the time to load. I just said a search idea of a shoe design, as we have come across some examples. You will get an option to type here. You just click on search. What all the ideas? We have 28,193 patents which are filed connected to shoe design. It may be a part of the name, person, and that will be listed here. It is all connected with all the details. These VPOs are connected with the US patent. So if you click on the patent, you'll redirect it with the idea, and it will list you out the US patents. Similarly, Google has also come up with a search engine like your normal publication search. It is defined. You can see the US design, the shoe sole and shoe for mid-foot striker. Here we can identify the application details, under what IPC Act they are following, the design, abstract, and relevant documents they are submitted, and the name of the inventor as well as the applicants. So this is how we'll be able to get into the description, the claims which you are doing, what kind of claim you are saying that this is my own, how, what the drawings, the designs which you are specifying in all the angles, perspectives, designs, then the patent family, under what category it is being filed, and what documents you have been submitted. All you will be able to get in the access of, it's a public access. WIPO is a global organization where patent scope is a global database which will help you to find out the common scenarios. Before you file, you need to explore. Similar to this, we have the other web applications, PQAI, which is a project QPAI.ai, which is paid. Some of the trial versions are free. I just registered with a common account. This is the interface. I'll just search as a shoe design, which is an AI based application which will be helping us to find out what prior arts are existing. You can see there are 53 art applications which are already existing with respect to this. It's from different countries. It's the China based or other. All data will be available because it is a AI based application which will help us. If you open, it will go to the patent where it is redirecting to Google research engine, where we'll be able to find what are the data, what kind of information. See, this is the Google patents website, which will give you all the prior rights. Even the similarity, it is filed in Taiwan. So the publication details similar documents, all these are listed here, all the applications which are claimed. Then moving across the similar kind of WIPO, the patent scope database is accessible. Apart from that QAPI, we also have the different kind of applications which are listed in the presentation. QSTEL and similarly Ambricity, which is also a AI assistant for searching the patent, which will help you to find out what is the your idea and what is the score of the existing. What is the similarity index will be defined here. Similarly, a patent filed, that's a N patent field is the application. Again, I'll just, if you search to design, we have a many applications which are designed under phrase. It will be compiled by AI application, which is incorporated with your machine learning algorithms to find out the best match so that it will not reject your application. You can see 2,41,523 patents are searchable just with a simple keyword. So they are filed with different, we can find, filter it by based on publication year, application year, with the code, in which country, which patent family country. All these can be used to filter it out so that you get a come across with a new your own ideas which is not existing. How can we make the changes? You can see the designs of footwear design for the shoe rack. And NL patent is also available, but the only drawback is not all applications are fully free. Which there are some with the paid. We also have a visualize IP, which will give you a visualization of connecting to that particular idea. If you search that visualization board, that scenarios will be defining you how and how it will be, what are the different existing. Then this is a Google search engine. I'll just refine with the same design. Google shoe design. I'll just use the same keyword. You can see 1 lakh results are listed. You can observe that by clicking on that, you can go through the search. You can find out, compare these scenarios with these AI based search engines that will help you out to figure it out and get unique products out of the idea. Just to come back to the presentation, I'll just go with my slides. So these 14 platforms, what I have opened and demonstrated, showed you with the only time, with a limited time, I could not able to explore each and every parameter. So you individually take a note of all these applications where it will help you to stabilize your intellectual property rights. And coming to the conclusion, we have to empower ourselves. Let's innovate, protect, and prosper together so that we build a strong nation which will be identifiable as a startup or entrepreneurs or small scale to the extendable, a very large scale. All the new innovators are encouraged to transfer the global innovation parameters into the global access. Try to find out, figure it out. If you have an idea, before exploring to a public or some industries, make a file of this IP so that you are recorded, you are considered, your ideas is not being snatched or stolen by someone else. That will help you to preserve your property as an intellectual property. So coming up with the references, I listed almost a similar Indian IPR related web pages, including the manual. We can refer to these websites and global, international, commonly used websites which are required, along with the references which are primers which are defined by Indian government as well as US patent and trademark. We have options for these to explore our new uh, enhancements. Even one more advantage is WIPO has a particular parameter to train. We have a training materials that will help us to be the examiners, agents, patent agents, or other kind of agents that will help us to grow our career. That's end of my contents. Any queries?
Thank you very much, Dr. Basavraj Patil, for that insightful and thought-provoking session. Your presentation on essentials of intellectual property for innovators and startups beautifully highlighted how IPR serves as a pillar for innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Your practical examples and real world applications truly helped us understand how innovators and startups can convert creative ideas into valuable assets. We now open the floor for a short Q&A session. Participants may type their questions in the chat box or unmute themselves to interact directly with our speaker.
Actually, it is a very difficult scenario to handle this session after 3 days of in-depth of exploration of IPR and all different scenario coming to the introduction. But I found that these are the very important aspects. Without knowing the fundamentals, we cannot explore the other things. We cannot get into the idea. If you are newcomer to the domain or the area, if you are searching, these things will really help you out to find out, figure it out, and make a intellectual properties we can prefer. If no queries, I assume that the contents are delivered in an effective way where I do understand that delivering to us theoretical thing with some minute examples, case studies is very difficult as being a teacher, even we know. But the things are very important to know the fundamentals. These fundamentals play a role. Basically, we may not go into the detail, but we need to guide the next generation, our students, to get into the domain. So these fundamentals directly help them to explore the ideas which are existing. Uh, any queries?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Myself, Avinash.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for this very insightful presentation.
Welcome, sir.
Very nice presentation given by you
Yes, sir.
and up to the mark. Sir, I have a question that what is the scenario in India currently going on regarding patent of artificial intelligence related or
So
software related?
the current scenario is not everyone are going in through with the AI based scenarios for IPRs, because the AI machines are not fully advanced level or fully exhibited. They are in a trial and error machine process. As we know, ChatGPT, Gemini, they are making us free of use of that, but indirectly we are the customers. We are feeding our data that will be training their machine. You have observed that initially the chat GPTs are made you available as fully free. Now it is restricted to number of searches. So these things are making the business models to improvise or make their machines as an enhancement. So by considering all the inputs toward the globe, they are building their models. So they are finding their innovative ideas in that way so that they can file. But whereas in connection with IPR specifically, not more than 50% of them are using that. Only known experts with the LLM AI who are using them, they are incorporating and they need to verify with the reality. It's not that AI is given something I cannot take directly. I need to verify with the reality using the WIPO or IP Google search patent wherever we have. We need to cross verify whether AI is seeing correctly or not, because we don't know how the machine results are. Some of the results are unexpected. They are not practically true also. When I come across with the usage of these AI based, somewhere some things are to be fine tuned yet. That is what they gave all of us as a free of application, where they are fine tuning their machine learning model, where the LLMs are built with more inputs, which is generally accessible to all the public.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between design patent and utility patent?
Sir, utility patents are basically considered to convert that product into the market level. That particular the utility, whatever you are getting, you will be given with some specification that will be followed. Whereas design is not connected with how you use, who can use. It is only connected with how specifically you are defining it as a unique way. It is even some design patents will be a part of your utility patents, but not with everything. Even some patents, the process is also been considered as a patents for utility, where they are using it most preferably in industrial manufacturing or other process, where designs are coming with the visualization. It is a new way. That is what I said you. That is a new idea which is coming to that. The ideas which are coming toward the design, they want to preserve my idea. For example, I want to preserve the logo of my company or preserve some designs or shape of this. For example, I'm using the mouse. They want to preserve the design shape. So for that particular idea, they cannot file it as a patent, because it will be only having only a duration, shorter duration. That product will not be long lasted and they'll not get the royalty. So the components of this mouse can be designed as a part of a patent, whereas this particular design is completely part of a design patent, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So it is, so you say manufacturing,
Yes,
utility
sir.
patent. So it is different from industrial patent?
Sir, industrial patent,
Design
again, it is a part of that. It's not specifically separate. Where the applications are defined specifically to industry, those will be considered as the industrial designs. Even mouse manufacturing design, they can be filing as a design. But the where they are using, how they are using, there are some big machines which are to be incorporated. So those machine designs can be taken in the design patent as well as the industrial designs, where they process for the longer duration.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Any queries? If not, thank you for your patience listening, and I thank the organizers for providing my opportunity. I also thank the Christ College as well as my organization who supported us in the participation of this, deliver my information which I know to share to the public. So I have the web page. I will be sharing the PPT. In that, my website is available, where you can contact me for any further information. Thank you. Thank you all.
As we conclude day 4 of our 5 days national level faculty development program on IPR Basics for Innovators and Entrepreneurs, I take this moment to extend heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of this session. On behalf of Christ College of Science and Management, Malur, I extend our deep appreciation to our resource person, Dr. Basavraj Patil, for his inspiring session on essentials of intellectual property for innovators and startups. Special thanks to our principal, Reverend Father Jeans George CMI, for his guidance and encouragement, to our convener, Dr. P. Rajalakshmi, for her leadership, and to my co-coordinator, Dr.